the dangers of real firearms training versus movie gun training for actors, stunt performers, and filmmakers. Questions and answers you should know, plus some disturbing statistics. That's what we'll discuss in today's video. Hi, my name is Dylan Wilson with CBT Stunt Alliance. Train hard, perform easy. We help actors, stunt performers, filmmakers, and content creators learn professional stunt training for use in film, TV, and live action performances. Before we get underway, if you'd like to learn how to add pistol and revolver or even rifle movie gun training to your current acting or stunt performance skill set, check out our highly popular online master courses at movieguntraining.com and movierifletraining.com, or simply click on the links below this video. You can learn all the movie set gun safety basics, learn how to draw and shoot a movie prop gun, how to hold it properly, how to do all types of tactical movements, how to do reloads, how to fire on the move, how to do actual scene work, and more. All taught by pro armorers for the film and TV industry. You can sign up now and start training now. Go to movieguntraining.com and movierifletraining.com for more information. Okay, so people come to us all the time with questions about gun training for use in film and TV. We provide our highly popular online master courses for actors and stunt performers. Yet some have asked if movie prop gun training at home is at all dangerous. Some even suggested that it's better for actors and stunt performers to go to a live fire range and learn how to shoot real firearms for use in film and TV, not for self-defense. Well, it's actually the exact opposite that is true. That's why we made the home study courses in the first place. So we're going to share some info with you that you need to know before you consider doing any training with real firearms. Now, I'm actually an experienced stunt coordinator and armorer for film and TV turned full-time director. This is something I plan to do from the beginning of my career, even attending and graduating film school as a director. Along my journey, I learned that being a director made me a better stunt coordinator and armorer, and being a stunt coordinator and armorer made me a better director. Now, how this benefits you is that I can share with you insights and experience from both sides of the camera, as well as through all phases of production. In addition to the above, I'm also a U.S. Army veteran, an NRA certified firearms instructor, an NRA certified range safety officer, as well as a long list of other certifications and credentials too long to go into in this video, yet you can read more about me by clicking on the link below this video. As a certified firearms instructor and range safety officer, we're trained to be on the lookout for the type of things that we're going to cover in today's video. We start every session with a safety briefing on what we'll do in the event that someone gets shot. This includes showing where the first aid kit is located, identifying nearby hospitals, evacuation plans, etc. And the reason for this is simple. You can get shot and injured or even die. These are real firearms after all, real guns. And guess what? People make mistakes and accidents happen all the time. So we're going to share with you the 5 dangers of real gun training versus the 5 positives of movie gun training for actors and stunt performers. All right, real gun training, danger 1, suicides. So you see the search term here, suicide at gun ranges or where guns are sold, is very important. Let's just take a look at some of the headlines. Suicides at gun ranges have prompted rule changes. Suicides at shooting ranges. 10 essential facts about guns and suicide. Suicidal customers see a way out at gun ranges. Gun range suicides are rare, but Naples just saw its 3rd this year. So what people don't realize is some people, when they're ready to commit suicide, that's where they go. And I'm actually going to share a personal story with you once we look at this. So we hop over here to the website of the National Shooting Sports Foundation. This is the trade association for the entire firearms industry. This is the advocate for the firearms industry. And this is something they have their suicide prevention program for retailers and ranges. And let's check out what they say. Recognizing that nearly 2/3 of all firearm deaths are by suicide, NSSF and the American Foundation, yada, 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 have developed a suicide prevention toolkit to help firearm retailers, shooting range operators, and customers understand risk factors and warning signs related to suicide. Very important. So where do they get this 2/3 number from? Let's look over here. This is the National Library of Medicine, and here's what they have to say. In total, 88% of decedents arrived alone. Decedents is someone who's died. arrived alone. When gun ownership was noted, 86% of the guns were rented from the range. So they didn't even have their own gun. They went to the range. Almost 9 out of 10 of them rented the gun at the range and killed themselves. In some cases, people drove to the range and took their lives in the parking lot with their own gun. So it's important to understand what actually goes on at real gun ranges. It's not just going there shooting holes in pieces of paper or steel gongs. Now, I actually have a personal experience to share with this. This happened years ago. This is before I became a certified firearms instructor, range safety officer. I had like a week off for vacation, and I was kind of figuring out what I was going to do with my vacation. And so I said, hey, why not just go to like an indoor gun range and shoot some guns or something? I haven't done that in a long time. And so I called around and I found this range. I said, all right, perfect. And I asked her hours what the pricing was, and I said, I'll come through tomorrow. And so right before I left the next day to go to the range, I called one more time because they could get busy and all the lanes might be occupied. So I said, I just wanted to make sure you have a lane available for me. He said, sure, come on down. It was the same guy, so we recognized each other from the initial phone conversation. Called, drove there, it's like 12, 15 minutes away. I get there, no more than 12 to 15 minutes later, I pull up to the gun range in my car, police vehicles outside of the gun range. They won't let me go inside the range. And I'm asking the police, they won't tell me what happened. So I get back in my car and I call the range, and the same guy answers. I'm like, there's police cars out here. What happened? They're not letting me inside. And he said, you won't believe what happened. A man came in here, rented a gun, went into one of the stalls, put the gun to his head, and blew his brains out. And I'm like, what? He said, yes. I said, dude, I just called. He said, it just happened, like right after you called. And I could not believe it. Here it was a 15-minute window. I mean, this poor man who killed himself, this poor tortured soul. I'm like, 15 minutes ago he was alive, 15 minutes later he's dead. And it's like, what would have happened had I been inside that range with him? Been in the stall next to him, that bullet could have flown past me. His brains are on everything. That's why the police wouldn't let people inside. There's brains everywhere. I said that would have really kind of messed me up to be right there and see all that, maybe even have brains on me or something. It still affects me even now. And I didn't even, it was over there inside the range. It was like maybe, 60 feet away. Yet it was a very disturbing experience. And I will never forget it. If you suspect that someone is even considering committing suicide, contact the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 800-273-8255. Real Gun Training Danger 2, Active Shooters at Gun Ranges. You can see here in this article, it talks about an armed citizen fatally shoots active shooter at Pennsylvania gun range. People don't think about this. Here's what happened. A 67-year-old Pennsylvania man stopped a deadly active shooter incident at the most unlikely of places, a gun range. It took place in Green Township. The shooter, identified as 26-year-old Robert Epley, died at the scene. And apparently what happened is this guy, the active shooter, managed to kill one person before this armed citizen took him out. I remember my firearms instructor, who I got certified with as an instructor, shared a story of an incident where he had to intervene on someone who was drawing a gun, trying to either kill himself or someone else. And then when we heard another story of another RSO who had to shoot a person who was an active shooter. The person just took a gun out and started aiming at other people, and the RSO warned him, and the guy didn't obey, and he had to shoot the guy. The other thing is, when we did our research and we talked with the National Rifle Association and even the NSSF, they said that incidents like this are reported locally to local police and hospitals. If there's no national information compiled on it. You just be aware, just like you hear about active shooters popping up all over the place at schools and everything, they pop up at gun ranges too. I mean, that's where the guns are. Real Gun Training Danger 3, Instructors Shooting Students. So this is an article about, this is, something that most people don't think about. Yeah, we'll take a look at this one. Gun safety instructor who shot student, this is something that happened recently at that time, also shot a girl in 1977. An Ohio firearms instructor who accidentally shot one of the students this month also shot a 14-year-old girl in 1977. According to the Columbus Dispatch, Terry Dunlap was a Pickerington Police Department auxiliary officer in 1977 when he shot a 14-year-old Kathy Hessler in her right leg. Oh no, he's done it again. Hessler, now Kathleen Schmelzer, 50, told the paper after she heard of the latest shooting. I said, "You've got to be kidding me," she said, according to the Dispatch. Remember, firearms instructors are people. People get distracted, people make mistakes. The difference is when it's a real gun, people die or get seriously injured. Real gun training, danger 4. Students shooting instructors. Now you can do a search for this for yourself. Firearms instructors shot each year by students. You'll see a bunch of articles and stuff that come up. Once again, these are statistics that are gathered really locally. There's no national data. Yet let's take a look at this one here. So it says, why? Firearms instructor shot by student asks in court. And so with this one, this poor guy, we hope he's doing better now. He said in the courtroom, why? You know, he didn't understand why his student had shot him. And he explained, to the judge that, he's disabled now. Look at this. He has continuing health problems, including difficulty with his balance and his memory. The lady who shot him was declared insane at the time of the shooting. So it's a case of mental illness. There's so many cases of undiagnosed mental illnesses walking around, and you don't know who is in the stall next to you when you go to a gun range. It's just the reality of it. And this experienced firearms instructor was actually shot and pretty much disabled for the rest of his life because of a student who shot him. Now there's another famous case. This one here, an instructor was actually killed, by a student. Let's take a look at the video here. The CNN video, we'll just watch a short piece of it.
An Arizona outdoor gun range. End of summer. Family time together.
No, we have to keep that held in.
A 9-year-old girl learning how to shoot an automatic Uzi by an instructor.
All right, go ahead and give me one shot. All right, full auto.
Those fateful last words. All right, full auto.
He just put the gun on fully auto, and he tells her that, and his left hand is holding the bottom of the magazine, where it should be on somewhere closer to the top of the weapon. She looks very uncomfortable holding the weapon, and when she pulls the trigger, he loses the grip on the bottom of the magazine and gets muzzle rise and winds up getting shot.
The sheriff's department says the recoil from the powerful weapon sends the gun out of her control over her head. 39-year-old instructor Charles Vaca, a member of California's National Guard, died later at the hospital.
Now, what's especially horrible about this is, what happened. The little girl who shot the instructor, she's traumatized for the rest of her life. This guy seemed like a good man. He's gone. He had a family. His kids, are very traumatized by it. They even made a video. We're not going to show all that stuff, though. They even made a video to the little girl that killed her daddy. And this is just the reality of going, to gun ranges, when you're learning real gun training. Now, people who know this, who, like myself and other people who become instructors, and we go routinely to ranges, we know the dangers. And not despite this, yet, I say because of this, we know we go in very safety oriented. We're always watching and very observing. Yet if you're going there just to learn some skills for movie and TV, you need to know the risks before you actually set foot on a real gun training range. Real gun training, danger 5, actor and stunt performer injuries. Now this is a well-known case. We'll take a look at this one. Hollywood stuntman shot in the back during audition for SEAL Team. It's a popular TV show called SEAL Team. And this guy went to audition for it. You can actually read this article yourself and do the search for what we just shared with you. And here's what happened. Schonauer claims as he led the charge to the doorway. This is an audition. He was shot behind by the auditioning stunt woman. So these two people were auditioning for the show. For some reason, they sent them in to do real gun training on a show where they're going to use movie gun training. He describes a bullet as entering his upper torso and exiting his upper arm shoulder area. Schonauer did not describe the extent of his injury, but said he is unable to work or collect a paycheck since the incident. He's suing Oak Tree Gun Club, the stunt coordinators that sent him there, the firearm instructor, and the auditioning stunt woman who fired the rifle. To make matters worse, it also sounds like he didn't get the role on the show. We hope he's doing better now. We hope he's recovered from his injuries. And understand, this man almost died for an audition. And, you know, to put his life on the line, you know, because when a lot of stunt performers and actors, you know, come in and they work with a stunt coordinator or armor, they put their trust in them. So they're like, oh, they wouldn't send me to do something that could get me hurt. Well, you have to be concerned about your safety priority one. And the first thing is understanding the dangers of real gun training, right? And he could have been killed. If the bullet had been a couple inches to the left or right, this would be a story about his death, not him surviving. And by the way, if someone gets hurt on set, they sue everybody. Imagine this poor stunt woman who's traumatized because she almost killed a man. She went there to audition for a show, and listening to, you know, a gun instructor at the range use, for some reason, live ammunition, and shot and almost killed a man at a point blank range right in front of her. She is traumatized for life and experience. Plus, she got sued and had to hire an attorney to defend herself in court. And all for what? So they can look cool using guns on a TV show. Now this takes us to the positives, the 5 positives, and actually more, of movie gun training. We're gonna just list 5 here. There's a lot more than just the 5. So my elite tactical stunt team, I have an elite tactical stunt team too, where we specialize playing like, you know, SEAL Team 6, Delta Force, SWAT, that sort of thing. We've been training actors and stunt performers for years with movie prop guns with 0 risk to them or us. You can see it in the image. It's actually one of the training sessions for a project. You know, using plastic movie prop guns, and the ends are even, the barrels are plugged and even taped up as well, right? Eliminating risk to them or us. They and the productions they were cast in loved the results. Because it's safer, they can practice more and practice at home and actually become good with this stuff. Where you can only practice for an hour or a few minutes at an actual real gun training range. You can't even do half the stuff at a gun training range you can do with a movie prop gun. When the incident of the shot stuntman that we talked about earlier happened, this cemented in the idea of our online movie gun training. And we decided to make the master courses that we mentioned earlier. So movie gun training, positive tip 1. No one gets hurt or killed. They can't, because there are no dangers when you're using non-firing prop guns, right? The only danger is dropping a thing in your foot. You see this is an image here, another training session we had. This is actually one that was on set. What's the worst that's gonna happen there? He's gonna drop the movie prop gun on his foot. That's pretty much it. Movie gun training, positive tip 2. Movie set gun rules are different because there's no live fire. We still teach some gun safety rules. You know, we use an acronym that we designed called DIFU, direction, finger, unloaded. That's how our students remember it. You know, you keep always pointing in the safe direction, keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to fire, or the armor tells you to do so, and to keep the firearm loaded until the armor tells you to do so. And yet, because the rules are different, if you learn rules at a real gun training range, they're not going to apply to movie gun set, because you're not going to do those things. There's no live fire, right? And the next point we're going to cover, we're going to go get a bit more granular with it. Here's another shot. This is another shot. We were training a group of people, a group of actors and stunt performers for an upcoming project. You see, they all have movie prop guns. Some solid rubber, some are plastic, some are airsoft, you know, plug barrels, that kind of thing. 100% safe. And everyone's still having the safety lessons and stuff ingrained in them. Plus, they're learning how to deliver amazing performances. Movie gun training, positive tip 3. You don't aim directly at other people like in real gun training or self-defense shooting. We use a technique we call our off-body aiming technique, where this is explained in our master course, all of our master courses for firearms, where the camera doesn't have depth perception, it only has like one eye. So you can trick the camera. And when you are trained in this technique, one of the tricks of the trade for professional armors for film and TV, you can point a foot to the side of the person, yet to the camera it looks like you're pointing directly at them. This is stuff they have no clue about at real gun training ranges, right? And we're gonna cover, you know, the danger with this in a moment. So you don't actually aim at anybody when you're doing movie gun training. And what you can see even in the images here, this was actually another set that we were on. You know, we're working with an actor, showing them how he's going to be entering and firing into clearing a warehouse. The entire time, he's 100% safe. There's people shooting back at him, right? Yet they're not in the frame with him, and even when they are, they're never pointing the firearms directly at him. Contrast all this with what they teach you at self-defense shooting classes for real gun training. And you see right here in the image, they train you to fire what's called center mass. And that means right here in the center of someone's chest. That's the go-to shot. You're trained over and over to constantly aim center mass. Or here, what's called the cranial vault. These are the two primary targets. Center mass, cranial vault. And the key thing is, you're not going to do that on a film set. No one's going to let you point a gun at their head and at their body, right? Yet they train you to fire, at people's foreheads. and they train you to fire at people's hearts. The net result is you train in bad habits. And in a moment of forgetfulness, or when you're just called upon to do it, you're going to instinctively do what you've been trained to do, regardless of what you convince yourself of. If you're trained and conditioned to instantly point a gun at someone's heart or their brain, then that's what you're going to do. So when you go and you get real gun training, and especially if you're training with people who aren't in the film and TV business and don't address this, that's what you're going to get, are bad habits trained into you. And it makes you dangerous. The thing is, the difference is movie gun training is not about shooting accurately, like what this is. That's why you see this is like a big deal. The thing, you got all these bullet holes inside of the little targets and stuff, right? Movie gun training is not about shooting accurately. It's about safely looking good, having proper form, and delivering amazing performances on camera. You'd have to go to the range for real gun training for years to get that look, practicing several times a week, not 1 or 2 times. There's a look that your body picks up through muscle memory. And the people who look that way have been doing it for years, right? Yet with movie gun training, it's the exact opposite. You get that look very quickly because you're focused on looking good, because that's what gets you cast, is how you look, not that you can shoot a hole or holes in pieces of paper. It's how you look on camera. That's why they cast you. So movie gun training focuses on how you look. So you actually look really good in a short period of time instead of having to spend thousands of dollars on bullets and classes and stuff to get the same result. Movie gun training positive tip 4. You get teachers with actual on-set experience to guide you. Now in this picture, this is actually, I was the armorer for, this is a famous, globally famous band called Quiet Riot. Great bunch of guys, rock legends. And this was actually a Western, one of their videos they shot, and I actually did a movie as well that I was armor and stunt coordinator for. And the guy right next to me to my left is the late, great Frankie Benali. It was such an honor to meet him. He is a rock legend. You look him up online. His wife is a wonderful person, amazing, did a great job. I'm still buddies with some of these guys to this very day. We had a blast. I had to train them in how to use revolvers. They were blank firing revolvers for the Western. And the key thing is, it's totally different when you're learning from someone who has on-set experience. They were actually able to learn very quickly and deliver really compelling performances and had a blast. We had such a good time. Now here's the thing though, which you should take away from this. There are tactical firearms instructors and self-defense firearms instructors, even guys coming out of the military who are like SEALs and special forces and stuff, and they put these classes up. Hey, I'll teach you. You actors you suck on television and TV. I'll teach you how to look realistic on how realistically use guns. And while their heart may be in the right place, they don't have a freaking clue, right? Here's what you do. You ask them one simple question. Remember, this is your life and your career. You ask them one simple question when someone comes to you and says that to you. Do you have on-set experience teaching actors and stunt performers how to perform movie gun choreography? One more time. Do you have on-set experience teaching actors and stunt performers how to perform movie gun choreography? That's it. Ask them that one simple question. They'll either answer yes, no, or they'll start vomiting from their mouth. Start back, well, a lot of the actors, when they have the fingers here, it's like, no. So the thing is, they don't have a clue. They're going to teach you stuff that the armor will never, any professionally trained armor will never let you do on set anyway. You're not going to be doing all that stuff. They don't even know that how it works on set with an armor for film and TV. They have no clue. Now, if you have a firearms instructor who does, and there are some out there like us and even others who actually teach real gun training and movie gun training, then that's wonderful. That's what you want, because then you get the best of both worlds. So if they say, yes, I do have on-set experience, learn from them. And don't just, stay with one teacher. Just like people who learn from us, we encourage them to learn from other people too. Everyone has something to offer. Yeah, that's what you want to do. And the key thing to understand is it's usually people who don't know, and I guess they, at the heart, they want their opinion to matter. So they just say, oh, you're an actor, go get some real gun training. No, you don't know what you're talking about. Stop talking, please. Just stop offering an opinion that isn't qualified or educated, right? You wouldn't tell someone who wants to learn self-defense shooting to study movie gun training. Likewise, you don't tell someone who wants to learn how to perform and look good on movie and TV sets to take just self-defense shooting. They are two completely different art forms. One is a combat art and the other is performance art. We're sharing this information with you so that you can make the best decision possible for you and your career. Lastly, we'll share one final tip with you that you should consider very carefully. Yeah, before we do, check this out. Let's take a sneak peek and look inside this master course that was made by pro armorers for film and TV, stunt coordinators, actors, and filmmakers for professional actors, stunt performers, and filmmakers, and content creators. By the way, if you're a veteran or experienced with firearms, you're going to learn how to convert your skills into movies and TV. So you can see here, first of all, we designed our platform to be intuitive and easy to use. The moment you log into it on your computer or your phone, you pretty much understand exactly what's going on and you know how to navigate it right away. Now, each of our master courses starts off with an introduction, so you get to meet your instructors as well as a safety briefing. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at this now.
Those who can't teach.
And you see the instructors go over their qualifications, their background, that kind of thing. And also, you get a cheat sheet, which we'll cover in a moment. This is a handout that accompanies the course, helps you to lock in what you're learning, plus our private online social community, which we'll cover a little bit later on. You also get our email address and contact information to be able to contact us with any questions that you may have. Now, as you can see, our innovative master course platform shows you if you finished the instructional or not, or how much of it you did learn. So if you notice, each one is broken down into units. This is what each of these are, and each of these units are broken down into classes or video instructionals. And it makes it easier to group everything together. Each of the instructionals are videos, and they're about 10 minutes long. There are a few that might be a little bit longer because they have to be, for the most part, they're about 10 minutes long. We like to keep it bite-sized, and it makes it easier and more effective for you to learn. One of the other great things about the platform is if you're studying and you're watching or learning some of the videos, and say you're watching it today and you get busy and you can't watch it again for like a week. In a week's time, you're not going to remember what you learned last. You got to look through all these videos to figure out where you left off. No, our platform design, it tells you which instructionals, which classes you completed, right? And then it tells you, what percentage of the unit you actually completed. So this is 50% complete, so 2 classes were done, and there's 2 left. So in a week's time, you know to start right here. So with this one, these are pro screen tests for pistol and revolver. It has tactical reloads, speed reloads. A lot of the classes don't teach you how to do this because there's just not enough time to teach someone to do all this stuff, in a 2 or 3 hour session. Let's take a look at cinematic pistol reloads, looking at the tactical reload. Let's go and take a look at this one now, see how this looks.
To his hand and insert the new magazine, puts the old magazine into his pocket, and resumes firing. Bang, bang, bang.
Now, one of the great things that we include are what we call live action video displays. And what these are things that they're clips from actual movies or even live training sessions where you actually can see the techniques being used in movies, TV, or real life. And it really helps you to lock in the lessons. So let's go ahead and we're going to take a look at one of them now. And you see everything that you're learning, you see how it actually is used in a movie. Let's go ahead and take a look at the tactical pistol disarm triple play. These are pistol disarms, some of the most famous pistol disarms that have been used in film and TV history.
I'm going to come here, turn it around, and fire. Bang, bang. Okay?
Again, we're leveraging the off-body aiming technique, when we're doing that. And whenever we train with solid rubbers. Here's the same kind of pistol disarms from the movie John Wick. And we have these in here, so you actually can take a look at them. So let's take a look at one now and see how it actually plays out. Doesn't that look familiar? This one is our monthly Sharpen and Polish video conference lab. Each month we do this, and it's designed to actually help you with your career. Try our Pistol and Revolver Master Course for 48 hours risk-free. After reviewing the Master Course, if you don't like what you see and it doesn't work for you, we'll refund every penny. Who else lets you go through their movie gun training, and then if you're not happy, gives you a complete refund? Bottom line, we're passionate about making our customers happy and keeping them that way. So well worth the investment if you're serious about learning movie gun training. To finish up, we'll share one final important tip that you should consider before undertaking gun training. Movie gun training positive tip 5. Determine the risks of movie gun training versus real gun training, and if risking your life is worth it to simply book a gig. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Is your life worth putting at risk? Some people decide no. And again, that's why there's movie gun training, right? Yet you may still decide, yes, remember, I'm a certified instructor, a firearms instructor. It's something I accept and move forward with. Or you may decide, that you don't wish to learn real gun training at all, and you just wish to do movie gun training, which is what the majority of actors and stunt performers do. A lot of them don't really like guns and don't wish to become, avid, firearms practitioners, so they don't do that. Yet we actually always encourage performers to get both types of training. We recommend they start with movie gun training first and then do real gun training. And the reason why is because you already have your foundation in movie gun training, since that's what you're using it for. If you're going to be a police officer, we would give you different advice. If you're an actor, a stunt performer, or filmmaker, we're going to tell you to take that first because that's going to apply directly to what you're doing. Plus, you learn all the gun safety rules for on-set and at gun ranges. We actually teach that in the class. And you know the differences. You know that you've learned the off-body aiming technique. You learn how to do scene work. You know how to use a gun on a film or TV set. And you know all these safety rules beforehand as well as all the warnings. So now when you take real gun training, you go there knowing what you're doing. The only thing that you're going to really experience differently is the recoil of an actual gun firing a real bullet. And the sound of it. It's just getting used to that, which you get used to it very quickly. And it's a cool experience too. That's why we always encourage people to at least go at least one time. A lot of people go 1 or 2 times and then they're happy. That's it, right? So that's option 1. The other option is, again, just do movie gun training. And what you can do is oftentimes there may be a local instructor, oftentimes a retired police officer that teaches a class for actors and stunt performers, teaches them how to hold a gun properly and move around, that kind of thing. They have good hearts and good intentions. Take the class. Everyone has something to offer. Other times it can even be like, an armorer, who has some buddies that are in the stunt business and they put a class together. They're like $50 to $75. Take the class. It's worth it, right? We are always a big advocate of people having many teachers, not just one, because everyone has something to offer. We're never someone to criticize people, oh, no, they don't know this person or they haven't heard of that person. No, silliness. Everyone has something to offer you. So, the courses are very inexpensive, and every investment that you make in yourself is always a worthwhile investment. Now, the other option, of course, are our master courses that we talked about before. The difference with our master courses and the local classes is that the local classes are a class, and ours is a master course. It's like in college, you take a course that may have 2 classes per week, 2 or 3 classes per week in this whole course that spans months. We have a course. So we also would teach in-person classes as well. So this is why we designed a master course instead, because you learn way more in the master course than you could at a local class. There's just only so much you can cover in a 2 to 3 hour class, especially you got like 10 to 20 people in the classroom. There's only a few things that you can learn. Yet in the master course, if you wish to become some John Wick, Proud Mary, type badass, you can do that because all the lessons are actually in there. So where do you think it's safer to learn tactical training for film and TV purposes? Movie gun training with plastic movie prop guns that don't shoot anything, watching pre-recorded step-by-step videos combined with live review and polish sessions taught by pro armorers so that you're ready for any audition or performance, all taught in the safety, comfort, privacy, and convenience of your own home, or on a dangerous gun range surrounded by strangers with guns that shoot real bullets whose intentions, experience, safety practices, and mental capacities are all unknowns. plus taught by people who aren't even in the film business and can teach you what you need to know to grow your career. And there you have it. This is why we made the online movie gun training master courses in the first place. Okay, so make sure you like this video and smash that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. Also, sign up for our Pro Stunt Tips email newsletter to get professional movie gun training tips in your inbox. Lastly, if you're interested in learning more about our movie gun training courses, go to movieguntraining.com and movierifletraining.com. Prepare to have your mind blown. You're about to take it to the next level. Or simply click on the link below this video. Again, my name is Dylan Wilson with CBT Stunt Alliance. Train hard, perform easy. Don't miss our next video where we share with you another movie gun training tip. See you next video.